Welcome to Allie's Attic, where you never know what kind of surprise you'll find in my attic. I'm your host, Allie, and today my surprise is a lady who is sophisticated indie Americana from Illinois, Ashley Riley. Hi, Ashley.
Hi, Allie. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great.
You had a productive morning?
Yes, I did. I was just telling Allie that I got up early and did a co-write session, and I've already been writing songs and editing some videos and getting lots of music-related things done today.
Awesome. Now, tell us a bit about yourself, Ashley. Like, how old were you when you started doing music or when you became interested in it, and right up to today?
Okay. So it's kind of funny. I distinctly remember that when I was, I think, 15 years old, I went out with a couple of my friends, and they had a new CD that they were playing, and I was like, oh my gosh, who is this? I've got to get this CD. And it was Jewel.
Oh, nice.
And I was so inspired by her, and it was just like the first time maybe that I had noticed just a girl with an acoustic guitar, and so I remember being like, okay, now I need a guitar.
Mm-hmm.
I actually didn't get a guitar until I was about 21. So, but instantly from then I just started to write my own songs and just really go from there. So my influences kind of evolved over the time, and I really got into Patty Griffin, and Neil Young, and I would say Sheryl Crow and Sarah McLachlan. My playlist is honestly, it could be like a Lilith Fair album or something. I love all that 90s girl music. But from there, I started writing my own songs and getting out and performing at local open mics and doing that quite a bit. Mm-hmm. Until then, I became the host of the open mics, and so I was hosting them weekly and meeting all the musicians in town. And from there, I actually put together my band that plays shows with me, and we started recording. I have, I just released an EP March 3rd called Can't Let You Go, and that is my fifth independent release. So I actually have 4 albums and an EP out now.
Nice.
And yeah, that's a lot of music.
No kidding. What does it take to write songs?
Yeah.
That's always been something that's just, I would love to, but I don't have a clue.
What was the first half of the question?
What does it take to write a song? Like, where do you get inspiration, and how do you know how to put it together?
Well, actually, it's different every time, but I know some things that I definitely do all the time. I always have, like, a pen and paper handy, and I always have, or, like, my iPhone notes. Mm-hmm. I'm always writing down interesting phrases or things that stick out to me. If I hear a quote that I like, I write it down. So I'm always kind of hunting for little gems of lyrical things and phrases that inspire me. So I always have like an inspiration journal going. And then a lot of times I'll have a melody in my head. And so if something sticks with me, then I just grab my guitar and I start writing. And at first, if you don't write with an instrument, you can kind of just pick up your melody and go for it and figure out what key you're in later and all that stuff. But if you're playing with an instrument, it kind of leads you because you start to realize, what chords go together and how songs kind of are formed. And so a lot of times I do play with the guitar as I'm writing. And, it's a lot of fun because, like I said, it's always a different process, but there's certain things that I do that always tend to get me inspired. And sometimes it's just sitting down with a cup of tea and being quiet and just thinking. Sometimes that's all it really takes.
Wow.
But I also co-write a lot. I write with a lot of other people, and so that is helpful whenever you get halfway through a song and then you're like, now what? Then they usually have an idea that keeps you going.
Yeah, well, that's good. Now, are you, your hometown is, I'm not going to pronounce it. I'm going to let you because I'm going to say it wrong. No, I'm not. Decatur? Did I say it right?
It's actually Decatur.
See, I knew I'd say it wrong. Decatur, Illinois. Now, are you still residing there?
That's okay.
You're still living there?
Yep, I'm still here.
Okay. Have you
Still here.
gone to Nashville at all?
I like to go there as much as I can. I love Nashville. It's so inspiring. They call it Music City, and it's so true. And my husband has some family there, and so we try to get there frequently, and I love to go and play the writers' nights and just meet people down there and just network. So
yeah, I know a lot of the artists.
This summer I'll make it down there.
Oh, that'll be nice. I want to make it down there. It's on my bucket list. So not that I'm going to go to any
Yes,
songwriters
it's very
thing,
fun.
but I definitely want to go to the Bluebird Cafe. That's one of my. I'm gotta go. Now,
Yes.
yes. Like, okay, so you're married now.
Mhm.
How long have you been married for?
Actually, in April it will be 14 years.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Do you have any?
I got married. I actually got married when I was kind of young, at like 21, and my husband got me my first guitar. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, very cool.
Do you have any children?
Yep, I have one little boy who's 4. He's almost 4 and a half. And, oh my gosh, he writes his own little songs too. So.
Oh, are you serious? That's awesome. Now, how does that work? Like, I know a lot of the artists I talk to have family, and I interviewed Sundance Head a little while ago, and since The Voice ended, like season 11 last year, he had been home 7 days in total. So does it, when you're touring and when you're out, like, does he come with you, or do you miss him like crazy if he doesn't? I mean, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah. Well, I actually, I don't probably tour as much as some people do.
Mm-hmm.
I have never really been gone for more than like a week at a time. And so I kind of plan when I can go and where I go pretty strategically. I basically stay in the Midwest. And I've done a few, like last summer I went out to California and played some shows. I would love to get back out there. But whenever I'm doing something like that, I actually like choose a region and kind of go, because I do definitely like to keep close to home.
Yeah.
And I haven't found like a person that I would feel comfortable being like, okay, come with me and take care of my son whenever I'm, playing a show or something.
Yeah.
So that'd be awesome. If I could, that'd make it way easier.
Yeah, no kidding, right? I guess. Yeah,
I'm actually always interested to know how other artists with children tour. That's always something that I'm like, how does this person do it? And,
well, I know I'll keep asking that question so you can find out. I'm sure, like, I know Tim and Faith, whenever they went out, I'm sure they had somebody along with them to watch their girls. And Sundance, his wife is his manager, so he's, so lucky.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, and he said they came out for spring break, so he did get to see them, but, not as much as if they did come with you. So, yeah, it would be nice to know how they do it and how they manage it. So I'll keep asking them questions like that so you can listen and get the answer.
Genius, let me know.
Now, New Noise magazine called you one of the best obscure female artists they've ever heard in, like, ever. And Indie40.com, yeah, Indie40.com declared you a female songstress everyone would be wise to spend time with, which is very glowing review. Women of Substance Radio noted that your songs have an ethereal and delicate quality, and your reverence for Americana artists like Neil Young and Patty Griffin, who you've mentioned, is unmistakable, and you pen lyrics that are unsettling and sometimes even disturbing, but that's how all good lyrics should be. So, wow. Yes. Now, the Illinois Entertainer said, make no mistake, Ashley Riley has an utterly gorgeous voice and a sound all her own. I've listened to you. You do. Your voice is beautiful, Ashley. And 7 of the 9 songs on your third album, All the Pretty Things, play in Starbucks in rotation. so they can hear you there if they're ever going into Starbucks, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So how did it feel the first time you heard yourself, like being played at Starbucks, or, you know, being heard somewhere other than you actually performing?
Well, honestly, I still haven't heard myself in Starbucks.
Oh,
They have like their in-store radio, and it's just, you know, it's like a programmed thing where they add people and stuff. And I have literally went there and hung out trying to hear myself, but I just haven't yet.
Oh no.
I know, but I know I'm on there because I get the little statements or whatever that tells me. So, I don't know. It's really exciting when you're on the radio.
Yeah.
It's very cool to be able to tune in and hear it. And sometimes whenever if my music's playing and I'm around people, I actually get a little bit embarrassed. But if I'm by myself, I'm like, woohoo, this is awesome. A little bit more excited.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you haven't had any radio airplay at all, have you?
I've had like local radio and different. I've been featured on like different radio shows.
Okay.
But not like major radio. More indie radio and independent shows. So.
Yeah, because you are independent. Now, I know I've talked to a lot of artists who are independent, and a lot of them are saying that they enjoy the freedom of being able to create what they want to create, put out what they want to put out, and play when they want to play. I know recording labels, I mean, they tell you have so many songs to get out in so long, and you have to go perform here, there, and everywhere. Not that there's anything wrong with being signed. Do you feel the same way? Like, do you prefer being independent, or would you like to get signed?
I really do prefer being independent. Or at least I enjoy it because, like you said, you don't have to answer to anybody, and you kind of get to follow your own bliss and see what works. I think the one thing, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Not that I'm really like actively searching it because I'm pretty happy with how it's going for me. But I do feel like at some point in your career, it might be good to have guidance of more industry people, whether or not that's a label or maybe just a manager.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a manager, I think, would be really helpful for a lot of the independent artists. I know my goal, just because I was in radio for so long, I know having the freedom to put on who I want to put on and having so many independent artists makes me happy because I'm giving them a platform to be heard. But also the advice that they give to one another is just amazing. And like I had Tommy Traina on yesterday, who's a punk hip hop artist. And one of the things he said is Chance the Rapper proved us all wrong when we thought, you know, you had to be a signed artist to win a Grammy, because he wasn't signed and he won a Grammy. So, I mean, I think the market's changing a lot.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if
honestly,
Spotify,
it's kind of an exciting time. It's exciting to be independent because it almost feels like nobody really knows exactly what the best path is. So, you know, like everybody's kind of looking for the next way or the best way to release music, and so even the labels don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
They may as well be independent, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Now I know. I've interviewed a few people from The Voice, and one of them surprised me. And Adam Levine was his coach, and Adam Levine told him don't sign, which shocked me because I think Adam Levine's not independent, but I think it was good advice. Right, yeah. Like, it just shows you that, you know, right now independent is the way to go, I think. Now, if you had any advice for any new artists starting out, what would it be?
My best advice, honestly, is to just go for it. And by that I mean, if you want to write songs, start writing songs. If you want to go out and perform, do it. Get the experience, and just, you actually need to, you don't ever really start out being the best, and if you do, then, wow, watch out, because I just feel like you have to get out there and do it, and you're just going to get better and better, and that's how you get out there and meet people and get things done. Like, I remember sitting at my house and thinking, like, man, I really want a guitar. Then I got the guitar. It's like, then I wanted to write songs. I wrote the songs, and it's like, now I need somewhere to play. And so it's just like, you actually just have to go out and do it, because no one, actually, there's so many people out there wanting to do music and make music and perform that no one's not going to really be like, well, this person said they wanted to. Like, you actually have to go do it yourself.
Yeah.
So that's my advice. Just go for it.
Well, that's good advice. Now, if people wanted to purchase any of your songs, where would they go to purchase them?
The best place to find me is at my website. It's ashleyriley.com, spelled the easy way, ASHLEY. RILEY, and from there you can find all the social media sites that you would want, and I'm on iTunes and Amazon and Spotify and CD Baby as well.
Okay, and I'll be putting your website up on my website so people will be able to find you. We're also going to put 2 of your songs up there. What songs are we going to hear from you?
We are going to hear Can't Let You Go and Lonely.
And they're beautiful songs. Now, you are now on my playlist. The joy of doing this is I get to hear new music and put it on my phone, so I hear it all the time. And you are definitely on my playlist. Yeah, your voice is beautiful. You can tell just by talking to you that you have a very beautiful voice. Once they hear you, I'm urging them all to go out and purchase your music, because it's absolutely beautiful. And you can hear the influences of who you said you listened to come through in all the songs that you perform. So I want to say thank you so much for taking time out of your day and coming on my show. It will be up today, so I will tag you in Twitter. I also have 2 Facebook accounts and an Instagram account. So it'll be on all of those.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and directing people to go onto the website and listen to the interview as well as your songs and where they can purchase them.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay. And thank you for joining me on Allie's Attic. Keep checking my website, because you never know what kind of surprises you'll find in my attic. Cheers.